I floated in the dead air, a spectator to my own nightmare. Below me, rain lashed against the asphalt. A girl who wore my face was on her knees, clutching her stomach, her body convulsed. Red. So much red. It spilled from her lips, mixing with the muddy water. A circle of frat boys stood over her, laughing. One of them, a guy who spent every weekend at Theodore's penthouse, kicked the gravel near her hand. Look at her, he sneered, his voice cutting through the storm. A gutter rat trying to sit at the high table. You really thought you could be her? Ivy. She had forced herself to swallow bowl after bowl of that blistering spicy broth, just to please him, just to be like me. And the man she did it for? Theodore stood there, immaculate, unflinching. He looked down at her shivering form on the hospital bed later, his eyes void of anything human. You aren't her, he said. The words were a scalpel. Clean, cold. You don't have the right to eat what she eats. You don't have the right to exist in her world. Chapter 1. The private booth was thick with steam. Rich, savory fog rolled off the copper pot in the center of the table. Sliced wagyu, marble perfect, sat untouched on crystal platters. I dipped a cluster of enoki mushrooms into the bubbling red broth, then switched. I dropped it into the tomato broth instead. I took a bite. Slow, deliberate. The tomato broth. I smiled. A small, tired thing. It's actually better than the spicy one. Funny. You have to try new things to realize what you've been missing. Theodore froze. His chopsticks paused halfway to his mouth. He was sharp. Too sharp. He knew how to read the silence between words. Hadley? His voice dropped an octave. What's wrong? I shook my head. I widened my smile until it reached my eyes. Nothing. I didn't tell him about the fire in my gut. I didn't tell him that the stage 4 diagnosis was folded up in my purse. I was dying. No point in ruining his dinner. I turned my head toward the floor-to-ceiling window. Outside, the wind was brutal. Winter in the city didn't forgive anyone. That's when I saw her. A girl. Thin coat. No scarf. She was holding a basket of wilting wildflowers, her face pale and stiff from the cold. My breath hitched. It was like looking in a mirror from 3 years ago. The same eyes. The same curve of the lip. Ivy. The original heroine. In my dreams, she was always painted in heavy makeup, looking cheap and broken. I never realized she started out this pure. I stood up. Hadley? Theodore asked. I ignored him and walked out into the biting cold. The girl looked up. Fear flashed in her eyes, followed by a spark of confusion. She saw the resemblance too. We look alike, I said. That's fate. She blinked, shivering. I ordered too much food. I lied. I hate wasting it. Come inside. Eat with us. I'll buy all your flowers. I pointed at the gold-trimmed doors of the restaurant. She hesitated. Hunger 1. I let her in. Theodore stared, his brow furrowing as I introduced her, but he stayed silent. I sat her down. I started cooking meat for her. She didn't eat. She inhaled. When the last plate was empty, she wiped her mouth with the back of her hand. She picked up 2 woven bracelets from her basket. Wildflowers, stems twisted together with surprising skill. Pretty lady, she whispered, handing them to me. For you. I took them. The petals were cold. It's freezing out there, I said softly. Why are you on the street? Her expression crumpled. Shame. My name is Ivy, she said, her voice trembling. I got into Wharton. Finance. Theodore's eyebrows shot up.